favorite song.
Time to do our holiday music. That's a little slow. I'm gonna put you to sleep today.
That one you can actually turn all the way up too. Oh, what else do we have? We got this one. Ooh,
That's what we need, more of that.
I thought I added another song. This is all you get. Sorry.
Okay.
This or choices, choices, choices.
Make it light here. It's decent. Okay, fine, I'll go find some more music.
Well, I imagine this is like if you worked at Disneyland in it's a big world or it's a small world.
Small world, yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
At least there's no words to this, really,
Yeah.
because if it had
Well,
words,
except
then
for
it would
the
really be
blank,
like...
Blank, blank, blank. Blank, 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 blank. My sister, I believe it was my sister, got stuck in a small world once, and they just the music was going non-stop, but the
Really?
ride stopped.
Oh my
I
god.
forget how long they were in there.
That's called torture.
She's been stuck in a couple. She got stuck at the Haunted Mansion, also, right by the door
Remind
knocking.
me not to ride any rides with her.
Well, when you live in Southern Cal and your mom had, they both had passes for
Right,
I don't know
of
how
course.
many years, so they used to go all the time. Blank, 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 blank.
Clank, 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 clank.
I assume that's what A is saying. I have no idea.
I have no idea. No clue. No clue. You gotta pick one or the other.
I hit the wrong button. There's the problem.
One or the other.
It's a dub over. Brain doesn't know what to do.
Right, exactly. I'm not sure what to listen to.
All right. It's down to the final 10 seconds. Oh, and the song
10
ends.
seconds. Oh man.
We're just gonna pause it there because we're pretty much,
We're there.
I think we're ready to go live. Are we not?
We are.
We
Yes,
are.
we
All
are
right.
ready to go live.
And you know what? I have short sleeves on also. You have
I
short
have
sleeves
short
on.
sleeves.
I don't
It's
even
like
know what.
72 or so, or was earlier today. 70, like,
Yeah, December 8th,
gorgeous.
Northern California. It's California cold. It's
Yeah.
70 something. I know it was a little cooler than yesterday, but
And then it'll
loving,
be like 34 tonight.
yeah,
So it'll be
perfect
nice and
hot tub
chilly.
weather.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
You
My
can go
favorite.
hiking. You can actually go hiking during the day without freezing, and then it cools off enough that you can enjoy the hot tub in the evening.
Perfect.
So it's perfect. You know, the
Exactly.
other thing that you can enjoy in the evening, Sue,
What's
while
that,
you're
Ryan?
while you're sipping in place, is some fun games that you can play with friends, family, coworkers, whoever you would like, remotely.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to talk about right after this. So I'm sure a lot of people have been following the news. I know California, most of California, and I don't, it's a few million people, however many are being affected by the new, you pretty much got to just stay home. They don't even want people going out front in certain counties. They're like, do not even go out front of your house. We don't want you to do that. And I know a lot of people are really burnt out with the Zoom.
Yeah.
Um, so the question is though, how do we have some fun? Because the reality is Zoom is like the simplest platform right now for people to get onto and have some sort of interaction that is safe, I guess, the
Yes,
safest way
exactly.
of,
Well,
of interacting.
you're staying home. I mean, if you're gonna stay home, you're gonna not go anywhere and just kind of embrace the being at homeness with your family and
Being at
friends, but you still want to
homeness.
connect.
I like
Being at
that.
homeness, yes, being at homeness. Then of course, I know a lot of us using Zoom during the day for meetings that seems kind of overwhelming, but you can turn it into something fun.
Right.
I personally like to do the happy hours with my girlfriends. And do you know that I read that the sales for flasks has gone up like 700%? Do you want to know why, Ryan?
I'm really curious because if you're drinking at home, do you really need a flask?
Well, if you're doing drinking on Zoom, you don't want to spill on your keyboard. So if you're having happy hour with your friends, you just use that little flask. You don't have
Okay.
to worry about,
All right.
yeah,
Do they
or something like that, a sippy cup. But apparently, flask sales up 700%. Who knew?
Who knew? Do they have wine flasks then? Is there an appropriate shape for wine?
There's always something you can drink wine out of, Ryan. You
I'm,
know I'm a wine fan. I'll
well,
find
that's what
something
I
to
was
drink
saying.
wine
I
out
mean,
of.
but it's got to be the appropriate shape, and one that you can chill, one that you can keep at room temperature, all the
Yes, they
different.
do. They do have the ones that you can chill, which are great for your white wine.
Okay, perfect.
Works perfectly.
So we should have thrown our logo on it. We could sell these flaskuses
There you go.
online.
Exactly. That's what people are looking for right now, apparently. Good, hey,
Yeah.
might be a good Christmas gift, holiday
Hey,
gift,
there you
something
go.
like that.
There you go.
Never know.
Gaming with the family. Everybody does a little ching ching through the
Little
screen,
cheers.
and
Little
yeah,
cheers.
little cheers, and then jumping into games. And a lot of people have been playing games online, but I think there's still a lot of, it's holiday time. If you're not going to be able to travel or you're going to spend some time, I know corporations, businesses have been trying to figure out, okay, how can we do some sort of holiday party? We had a show a few weeks ago with the Holiday in the Box, and that included a
Yes.
lot of games. And so today we just wanted to kind of talk about what are the different games that are out there. And I think it's fair to say that what we're going to touch on are some of the more popular ones, and we're not
Yes.
we're not endorsing any of these websites. This was just simply a
Right.
Google search. And so
Absolutely.
a number of these we haven't even played, but the game itself we've played, who
Many
knows how many
times.
times, depending on the individual.
Well, I just played Yahtzee
You did
for
just play Yahtzee not too
Thanksgiving.
long ago.
For Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
my family, I have family in various areas. My sister's over on the Big Island in Hawaii, so we don't see her. She had her family there on one screen, and everybody was kind of sitting around their little table with their Yahtzee dice cups, and we all
Hmm.
got our scorecard out. And we had my mom on the call, and then me and my
Good.
kids were all here, and another friend was here. So that actually worked out really, really well. Actually, better than I thought.
Okay.
Um,
In what way?
but there's I don't know. I just didn't know how it was going to work out, and then we were laughing because we're like, okay, there's really an opportunity to cheat here because who's really
Right.
counting, and did you
Yep.
really roll those
You almost
dice?
need a. I recently discovered that Zoom has a second camera feature now. I don't think it shows
Oh,
both cameras, but they have a second. Actually, it might because it is a share screen option.
okay,
So maybe you have to have everybody's got to have like a Zoom on their scorecard.
right
But
on their
so
on their dice. Yeah, I don't
on the
know.
di well, and the other thing I was thinking, if you had an overhead shot, then you could actually have a single person who rolls the dice. Because if you roll the dice and everybody gets to see what the dice are, then you
Right.
don't have to worry about
Yeah, but I don't want somebody putting my mojo on my dice roll. Somebody else. I don't. I need my own
Well,
mojo on my dice roll.
all right. And let me ask you this: Did you win?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Maybe
I did
someone
not.
else's mojo might help. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, okay, so the thing that I think worked really well because there was a couple of us, like I said, here at the house,
Mhm.
and so we were all in one space really, and we were able to like look over and really see. Okay, did you really get that Yahtzee? And so there was a little bit
Right.
of accountability. My mom was by herself, so
Okay.
we don't know. Maybe she was. There was a couple times she got double Yahtzee, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe she did.
Ah,
Maybe she didn't. No, I'm just
right.
kidding. It's okay, Mom. I know you didn't cheat.
Well, let's start out with that one first. Then let's go ahead and
Yeah.
pop up the share screen and take a look. And again, these were just basic Google searches.
Yes.
There's plenty. So granted, there's all these kinds of fun ads that we have to deal with. And essentially with Yahtzee, you need how many dice? Do you remember?
You need five. Gotta have five dice and some
Five
sort of
dice, and then
dice
you just
cup.
need a screen or a
Yeah, you
score
really don't
sheet.
even need the dice cup, but you just need the score sheet.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
So you print these up, and unlike another game that we're going to talk about, all the score sheets are the same, so you don't have to worry about people having duplicates. In fact, you want people to have duplicate score sheets.
The same
So
sheet would be good.
the score
All
sheet,
playing
yeah.
the
So
same game.
all playing the same game. So super simple, and everybody knows how to play Yahtzee. You kind of get how this works out. And then just so everybody knows all the links that we have here, we will put, there's going to be a link to the blog page and all the links to these games will be there. So you don't have to go Google searching them if you don't want to, just follow the link down below. The other one is charades. And
Yes.
this one's kind of nice because they actually have two different options. They have easy for kids, which is kind of like my way of doing it.
Well, I was just
Uh,
thinking, I think that's for me.
okay. Um, and you get 1 minute to act out the word, and ideally you're going to be actually on Zoom while you're doing
Right.
this. So part of this is then figuring out, okay, making sure who can see the screen and who shouldn't be seeing the screen.
Correct.
But what's nice about this one is it's got a built-in timer, so they give you a minute, and you click on a word, and dun, 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 as soon as you get it, go ahead, you hit next word, and it just keeps on going, and it resets the timer above. Now, this
Nice.
is not keeping score, just as an
Right.
FYI. So individually, you would need to keep score for yourselves.
Right. Exactly.
And
I played a version of this with a handful of girlfriends on a happy hour night. We had our
mhm,
little glass of wine, and what we did was we just each wrote down on a piece of paper separately some. I think it was either movies or music or something like that. That was
okay,
like a theme,
right,
and so we kind of just used a theme. So it's like a movie or something like that, or a phrase or something, and then would get everybody to say what it was, and if you got them to say it, then you got the point, and if you didn't get it, we did some kind of.
okay.
Oh, we made up our own scoring program, which is you can totally do, and it was kind
Might as
of
well turn
random.
it
It was
into a
like,
drinking game at that point.
well, exactly, and then it was like, well, you know what? That was a really hard one, and I did really well, even though you didn't. You guys didn't get it. I should get the points.
Right. It's kind of like
So we were
what was the Drew Carey
Drew
was the
Carey.
host.
Yes,
Whose
yep.
line is it
Whose
anyway?
line is it? I
Yeah.
love that.
You
Yes.
get 10,000
Yeah.
points just because.
Just because, exactly. No, and I love that. Just with everything that we've all been doing, sometimes making up a little bit of your own rules for certain things,
Right.
especially with charades or something like that. Do it that works for your group. Like I said, we were kind of into movies and music, so that worked out really well. Or if it's something that's a topic that everybody's really into. Maybe they're collectors of something, or they're golfers, or whatever. You can do something specific for your group. And basically, it's about having fun. It's not necessarily always about the rules.
Right.
Depending on who you are. Some people are all about the rules.
It depends on the group, maybe.
That's right, exactly.
So another version of charades that we found was the Panto Party, not to be confused
with
something else party. Yeah. And then what I thought was interesting about this one is down here is they say that they have a mobile app. However, there's nothing to click here, so I'm not sure. And again, we just Googled this stuff, so we haven't.
You might have to go find it on your
phone. We haven't fully vetted any of these programs. Part of the fun is doing that. Now, the one thing I do like about this versus the other version of charades is that, again, they have easy mode for quote-unquote kids, or they have normal mode. I like it
when they say normal mode. I'm like, nothing that I play should say normal on it. Like, it's not normal.
They already have teams set up. They have blue and pink, so you can change it, and you can also add additional teams if you want. But once you hit play, they just give you 3 minutes. And then if you'll notice, there's a star next to the blue. And so if you click on the card, the timer starts. And now as you are going through the words, you check them off. Notice how the score changes over here.
Score changes, yep, exactly.
So, and dun, dun, dun. And then you can also remove. So if somebody accidentally clicks or whatnot, then they can go ahead and do it. So I like this one. And then when you click next, it turns it over to the next team. So when the next team's ready, click a card, the timer starts, and you go ahead and let's say you only get 2 for some reason. You can go ahead, draw a card, and then it just keeps on adding the score up for you automatically, so you don't have to. So that one I like about this version. But I would say for each their own.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And once again, it's kind of figuring out who gets to see that screen and when.
Right.
So who's, on one team, there's going to be one person who is trying to get their team to say the words, I guess.
Right. Right.
And then
you might even have somebody kind of be the host who is the one that does all of this. And is able to share either through chat or something within Zoom and go, okay, hey, here's your words, and do that. Because the one thing with Zoom is if you share screen with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right. If you did it in the chat and you sent them a private message to that person who is going to be acting out, they would know what their 5 words were. Right. And that one scorekeeper could be keeping score.
Right. Maybe as the scorekeeper, you give them, once you hit send, you're like, all right, I'm going to give you 10 seconds, and then I'm going to go ahead and start because as soon as you click on the card, see, this is the thing. The timer starts as soon as you do so.
Well, you know what?
You all figure it out and let us know.
You know what? Everybody will get the same amount of time when you click on the card and they type in, hey, that's all part of your time.
All part
Hopefully
of the time.
Hopefully you have a fast typer.
Yeah. So we already covered Yahtzee. The other one was bingo, and I know you've done bingo also.
Yeah.
And I think the important part is that you don't have the same score sheets as everybody you're playing with.
This is true. So it's going to require you to get a bingo set. So I ordered mine on Amazon when we were in full-on lockdown mode and couldn't go anywhere, because I do like to support local when I can. But I purchased a bingo set, and it had the little, the little thing you put the little balls in, and it had the little holder so you can pull them all out. And then you just go online and you can find those cards. And so depending on who's playing, I had to find a couple of different sites and a couple of different cards and send those to different people instead of sending the exact same PDF with the exact same cards to the same person, because then they would all be the same, and then it's no fun.
Yeah, they need so some like auto thing where it like generates 10 cards or 10 PDFs that are all uniquely different, like a batch. You need a batch set where you can actually ask how many you want to download.
Yes, and then you can tell, you can send it to your friends and say, okay, you get page number 1, you get page number 2, you get page number 3, and they just print them out and work with them from home. And then you just call the numbers and always fun to have prizes too for bingo. I love doing prizes for bingo.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, I mean, something fun, you know, maybe it's a voucher or
Bottle of
something,
wine or something,
or
whatever.
load your Starbucks card or something like that, you know.
Right,
Yeah, I'm
right.
okay with the bottle of wine too.
Yeah,
But, you know,
yeah.
it
And
usually
I guess
requires delivery.
and I guess the key thing with this is, like you were saying, you ended up going online. You bought all the little bingo pieces and the little hamster wheel in order to
Yep.
turn it. So somebody will need to have access to that. Or I wonder if anybody makes like a random generator just in bingo, where you just
I
click a
think
button and it randomly generates.
I think that you can find those online, that they are random generators. There's a couple of different virtual ones that you can play completely virtual, where it will randomly pick out those numbers and place them in that they've been used.
Right.
I don't know that I'll have to see if we can find another link for that, but
Ooh.
I know that they do exist. Me
Okay.
personally, I found it more fun to be the caller. I wanted to pick the numbers and have people get excited and kind of have fun with that.
Right.
So that's just me. If you want to do everything virtual, like I said, you probably can find one of those sites that does it all for you, basically.
Right,
And you
right.
can play with multiple people.
All right. And
Yeah,
this
a lot of fun.
this is a new old classic now, I think, and that is Cards Against Humanity. And
Yes.
since Cards Against Humanity is trademarked, all bad cards is the online version that we were
Yes.
able to find. And apparently they have a family-friendly version.
Oh, how nice.
So you can do that also. And then people that are not familiar with Cards Against Humanity, go check it out. It's a lot of fun.
We
Should definitely
played, I
check it
think
out.
you and I played with a group of people early on. I think it was like
Yeah,
in
we actually
March or something like that.
Did we do it online though, or did we actually
Yeah,
use
it was on.
cards?
No, it was online. It was all
Okay.
online, where you had a game board, but you had to use your laptop and your iPhone or your cell phone in order
Okay.
to look at the cards and respond.
Okay.
But it worked. It worked out really well, and it was
Mhm.
really fun when we were all on a Zoom call at the same time. I think that was the Zoom call on the screen with a shared screen,
Okay.
and then you had to have your phone in order to access your cards, I think.
Yeah,
But
and I'll
that was
say
a lot of fun.
it was a lot of fun. The one thing I do remember is that everybody needed to be on their own call for some reason, or some people wanted to be, but they were in the same building or same house. And
Oh,
so
right,
you end
yeah.
up getting audio conflict. So just be aware, if you have two Zoom calls open, that the audio from one computer goes into the microphone on the other computer, or vice versa, and it just
Yes.
creates all kinds of looping audio issues. So just
So
be
if you're
aware
gonna
of that.
play with somebody in the same house, have one go in the back bedroom and one go in the front room, and you
Right.
should be fine.
Yeah. Or one goes in the hot tub and one doesn't go in the hot tub. You
Always
got
an
options.
option,
You got options.
Ryan. Always an option.
Always
Hot
options.
tub, always an option.
Always options. All right. Up next is Never Have I Ever. And if
Have you
you
ever
don't
played?
have any good questions, like have I ever gone to Taco Bell? Never have I ever gone to Taco Bell. Did I get enough
No,
ever nevers in there? This sounds like a
you
Dr.
haven't-
Seuss game.
I know, right? No, I mean, this has been played for a long time. I mean, a lot of times it's played as a drinking games, where it's like, you know, you sit around normally in, you know, a circle with your beverages, and somebody says, "Never have I ever been to Taco Bell." So if you've never been to Taco Bell, you're going to drink, and you're revealing the answer about
Right.
yourself.
Okay.
So you can do that with playing virtually with hands. You can do like 5 in a row, like count, and then never have I ever. You're putting a finger down or things like that.
Right.
So there's different ways that you can score it, or that you can just raise a hand. And there are some really, really good questions on that
Mhm.
site. Some of them were really funny.
And some really good ads that are just all over the place. You gotta love the
Yeah,
internet
right?
these days. All
Well,
kinds of cool
the
stuff.
thing I like about this game is that even if you're playing with your family that you feel like you know pretty well,
Mhm.
there will be some revealing things where you're like, "Oh my God, I did not know that about you. Like,
You
I
just-
thought I knew everything."
You just need to know the right questions to ask.
This is true, and you can handpick those. I mean, you handpick
Right.
out of 250 of them the best ones that'll work with your group, whether it's
Sure.
family or maybe it's your
Right.
friends.
And create your own, right?
Oh, you can create your own too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
if you're with a very specific group like family who have had some similar experiences in life, or different things that they've done all
Right.
together,
Yeah.
you could make it very specific about that,
Right.
which would be really fun.
All right, fun. And then the last one that we have, and not that there are not more options
Oh,
out
there's
there, but
tons.
the last one that we have for today is two truths and a lie.
This is another one that is so revealing about people. So you ask everybody in your circle or on your call
There's the circle.
to well, that's that little circle there, to go around and say, okay, hey, I'm Sue, and then you give two truths and a lie, but you don't tell them which ones are true, which ones are the true ones, and which one is the lie.
Right.
The lie, you usually try to make it sound like it could be true, where people would be like, I don't know which one is the lie. So then everybody has to guess and vote on which one they think is the lie about you.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be stumped. It's so much fun. It is hilarious. And again, another opportunity to learn something about people you thought you knew really well. Or
Right.
if you're in another group where maybe you've got a lot of new people, this is a great icebreaker, because people will reveal what they want to reveal.
Right.
They're making up their own truths and lies, so they're going to reveal what they want to reveal. So I've played this many times in person, and it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
And you talk about icebreakers within Zoom. You could do breakout rooms, so you could actually break, if you had a large group together, you could actually break them out and send them off into different rooms.
There's one we missed though.
Well, we haven't. Yep, we didn't get there because I wanted to.
Okay, good.
I had to set up the screen for it, and
Oh, okay.
that is called No Signal. And No Signal is a great game. Actually, I'm kidding. This is actually a Zoom call, and because I'm using the camera over yonder, I don't have a camera on my Zoom. But what we wanted to talk about is like charades or other games that maybe you want to incorporate drawing into it. Is that you can actually click down here, and there is a whiteboard option. All you have to do is just click here. Oh, and then you got to click the share.
Sure.
All right. And now you actually have a whiteboard. You have all these different options. You have select, text, draw. You have you can like give people stars if you want to. If you want to highlight things like, ooh, look at the star, Ryan Perry. Anyway, we can erase all this, but you probably want to get into the drawing one, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is for Pictionary.
Now, what we really need is a tablet interface so that you can just kind of go like this. Because let me tell you, me just trying to write my
Use your
name
mouse.
with a mouse,
I know.
that's not even, that's supposed to be an N, by the way.
Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, and it's hard to see because I'm not looking at the main screen here. If I had to draw a dog as an example, oops, I'm still on a race.
You got to pick it. You got to pick a. You got to pick a
There's
pen.
the problem.
There you go.
All
There you
right.
go. Pick a pen.
It's kind of like, and then we put, I don't know if that's a cat or a
It looks
dog.
a little bit more like a cat, but I don't know. It's very happy though.
You could draw some like little coloring lines on it and stuff.
It's a calico cat.
Anyway, so this could be really interesting, folks. That's all I'm saying. If unless you have an artist friend who's got one of those, what are those, the
Right.
Whammo tablets where they can
The tablets with the pen
it's
and the whole
pressure sensitive pens and all that type of
Right.
fun stuff. But if you haven't used the whiteboard feature on Zoom, all you got to do is just jump into the share screen, hit the whiteboard,
there.
and then click share. And now you have all of those options that you can do. Again, it would be really great if I could just break out my tablet and go, okay, share screen, my
Able to-
tablet is a
right.
white. Yeah, and then I could just, so much easier.
That would be great. Yeah. No, I mean, and Pictionary, That's so much fun anyway. I mean, and then in some ways, it's kind of even more comical to be trying to use your mouse to draw where you're like, really? What in the
Right.
heck is that? Come on.
Well,
This
see,
is where
that's
everybody gets shamed for their drawing skills.
that's why they have text. That way I can just say dog.
Well, that would be cheating, Ryan.
But hey, it's all good.
That's fun. No, those are all fun. Those are all super fun. And the holidays coming up, and we're not really able to get together with our larger families. So these are really, really great options. And like you said, Ryan, this is a very small sampling of the things that you can do virtually. There are tons and tons of games that you can do virtually on Zoom to keep yourself busy. So
And there are, and if you don't want to do it through Zoom, there are other games like you can play cards, you can play chess against other people. Now you're lacking the Zoom compatibility part,
Sure.
but maybe you don't want to connect with people. There are plenty of other games. I found Battleship the other day while doing some research for this,
Oh,
where
that's
you set up,
fun.
you can move your board around a little bit, and then you join,
Right.
and then you just click on the other person's board, and it'll,
Fun.
I forget what it did. I think it put like an X or something if you hit something. So
Cool.
all kinds of, there's all kinds of fun games out there that you can play. I'm curious for those that are watching is kind of like, what's the one game that you're looking forward to playing, or the one game that you would like to play online with friends and family? May it be out of the group that we talked about or something else that we haven't talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear if people have been playing, other games or something unique that's not as well known as some of these games. What are the
Right.
games that you're playing virtually that have been successful that you've really enjoyed? So we'd love to hear about that and be able to share that with people too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for the games. I mean, the fact is, jump on Zoom, and they did, I'm sure they're going to do it on Christmas also. If you don't have a paid Zoom account on Thanksgiving, they opened up Zoom to everybody. I
Yeah.
don't know what the user experience was because of all the bandwidth going through, but just realized that like on Christmas, I don't, again, I don't know if Zoom's going to do it. I'm kind of presupposing they are simply because they did it on Thanksgiving, is you
Yeah.
can go log in, get a free account, and just hang out and have a toast with somebody while you're playing Yahtzee.
Exactly. It makes it more fun that way. It's when things get really, really loud too.
Everybody starts clapping because you won
There we
and
go.
all that. Yeah.
Perfect. Now see,
All right.
now we have something to look forward to for the holidays.
There you go. Something to look forward to. Is it the drinking or the playing games?
Oh, it's a combination, and
It's
seeing
the
all my friends and family. So it's a good combination.
All right, perfect. That's it. And fortunately, our stream is working well because I forgot to hit the record button. So the only
Oh.
recording we have is online of this.
Okay, well that works
right.
too.
All right, next week, let's take 17th. We're going to be here.
Yeah,
Or no,
we'll be here.
15th.
No, 15th. Yeah.
15th we'll be here, and then we're skipping the 22nd. We'll probably skip the 29th also, take some time off, play with friends and
Exactly.
family, and then we'll be back on the 5th of January.
Yeah, the whole new year, a whole new life.
New year. All right, good times. As always, it's a pleasure, Sue. Thank you very much for your help putting this show
You
together
too.
every week.
Yes, of course.
All right, everybody, that's it for today's show. We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Take care.